Leviticus 25 is a key segment of Mosaic law that describes the ordinances God gave to Moses concerning the Sabbath of the land and the concept of the Jubilee. In this chapter, the Lord speaks to Moses on Mount Sinai, giving him commands to convey to the children of Israel about their future practices when they arrive in the land that God promised them. These practices are centered around sabbatical years and the Jubilee year, both pivotal in ensuring economic equilibrium and spiritual rest. The chapter begins by outlining the pattern of working the land. 6 years of labor, followed by a Sabbath year, when the land must rest. During this 7th year, Israelites are commanded not to sow their fields or prune their vineyards. Rather than harvesting what grows during this year, they are to let the yield serve as sustenance for themselves, their servants, their livestock, and the wildlife. Moreover, every 50th year is to be a jubilee, a year of liberation across the land. It is a sacred time when all are to be freed from their debts, and all properties that were sold are to be returned to their original owners. This act restores economic balance and reestablishes the intended order among the people of Israel. Transactions that take place between Jubilee years are to be conducted fairly, considering the proximity of the next Jubilee to adjust prices accordingly. Essential to the Jubilee year is the idea of redemption, where those who have become impoverished can be redeemed. If a family member can afford it, they may buy back the land or a person sold due to poverty, ensuring that the lineage reclaims its heritage. In the absence of family able to redeem them, anything sold would be returned to the original owner at the time of the Jubilee. During the Jubilee, there is an emphasis on not oppressing one another, but instead adhering to the statutes and judgments provided by God. The land, viewed as God's possession, cannot be sold permanently, emphasizing the notion that the Israelites are stewards rather than absolute owners. The chapter also details humane treatment for fellow Israelites who have fallen into servitude due to poverty. They should not be treated as slaves, but rather as hired workers and family members, with their service ceasing during the Jubilee when they are released to return to their ancestral lands. Non-Israelite slaves, however, may be acquired from surrounding nations and can be inherited as less as part of one's estate. Lastly, the Lord underscores his authority by reminding the people of their deliverance from Egypt, reinforcing he is their God who grants them the land and these laws to maintain justice, fairness, and devotion among the community. This chapter establishes a social and economic foundation designed to prevent the permanent disenfranchisement of any one of Israel's citizens, rooting property and personal service in cyclical rebalancing and redemption.